Hello friends, how are you? So friends, we are going to start with a new topic, that is ratio analysis, right? So this is another chapter from your book number 3, ratio analysis. This is a very interesting topic, very easy, very interesting, right? So now let's see what we are going to study in ratio analysis. First, we will see what is ratio analysis, right? So first and the foremost thing that we are going to see is what is ratio analysis. Clear? Second, we will try to understand that why we are studying ratio analysis, right? What is the purpose of studying this ratio analysis? And third thing is what to study under ratio analysis. This will include the various types of ratio analysis. This will include the practical problems of ratio analysis, right? So basically we will cover three things under ratio analysis. First, we will try to understand what is a ratio analysis. Second, why we study ratio analysis. Third, what to study under ratio analysis, right? So now we'll start with the very first thing, that is what is ratio analysis, right? So this is the important term. What is ratio analysis? Analysis, you all must be knowing, that is we analyze something, we study something very deeply, we try to find out the results from that study. That is analysis, right? So if in the layman's language I talk about analysis, I will say deep study about something, right? This is what we say, analyze, deep study about something and try to find out the results. That is analysis. Now what is a ratio? Now this is one big question before we start doing some practical problems, before we start studying ratio analysis. First you should understand what is ratio analysis. I told you analysis is the deep study about something. Now if we talk about ratio analysis, what we are going to do deep study about under ratio analysis? What is a ratio? It is a relationship. It is a relationship between two things, two or more things, right? So what is a ratio? Ratio is the relationship between two things. Now if we talk from the accountancy point of view, which relationship we are going to study under ratio analysis? What type of relationships are covered under ratio analysis from your accounting point of view, right? So if we talk from the accounting point of view, I will say ratio analysis is the relationship. Ratio analysis is the relationship between financial factors of a business, right? So what is ratio analysis? Ratio analysis is the relationship between the financial factors of a business. So What is it is? The deep study of the financial factors of the business, deep study about the relationship between the various financial factors of a business. First, understand what is a ratio. Ratio is relationship between the two things. Now, I'll take a very simple example. Right? You people give exams. Suppose there are 5 exams of 100 marks each. So, what is the total marks? 500. Now, you scored, out of 500 marks, you scored 400 marks. Now, how you express this thing that you scored 400 marks? You will say, I scored 80%. What you will say? If someone asks you, especially your relatives, if they ask you what is your score in the exams, you will say 80%. Right? You will not say that I scored 400 out of 500. You will directly say 80% marks. Isn't it? So what is this 80%? This is a type of ratio. What is the ratio? Ratio is relationship. I told you what is ratio? The study of relationship between two things. Now, what are the two things here? Relationship between marks scored and total marks. Clear? So indirectly what we are doing is we are expressing the relationship between the marks scored and total marks in percentage. So 80% is what? It is a kind of ratio only. This is what I told you. What is a ratio? Ratio is the relationship between two or more things. Relationship between the financial factors of a business. Right? Study is your business and this is your financial factor. That you scored 400 marks out of 500 marks. That is, you scored 80% marks. This 80% is nothing but a ratio. It shows the relationship between marks scored and total marks. Clear? So this is what is ratio. Analysis is the deep study of something. Right? If we combine these two terms, this becomes ratio analysis. That is the deep study about the relationship of two or more things. And if we talk from the accounting point of view, we'll say it is about the deep study of the relationship between financial factors of a business. Now, when we started accountancy, the first thing that we discussed is we consider the financial factors of the business for accounting, monetary terms. We consider the monetary factors, right? And when we try to build the relationship between those monetary factors of the business and try to study those monetary factors, study those relationships and try to find out something out of it, we call it as ratio analysis. Clear? So I have given you a very simple example from your day-to-day life that how you score marks, how you express the marks that you have scored, it is a ratio only. Clear? So this is what is ratio analysis. Now, this ratio can be expressed in a number of ways, right? So I'll say expression of ratio. Right? So the first expression is pure. What do you mean by pure? Relationship between two factors in a pure number. Now what is pure number? Right, like I say, A scored twice the marks than B. That means A's marks is, if A's marks is 2, the B's marks is 1. Right? That is a pure number. We are expressing something in the pure number. Twice, thrice, right? Double. It is, one thing is double the other thing. That is expression of ratio in the pure number. We can express it as 2:1. Right? Like we discussed in the partnership, that A and B are sharing profits in the ratio of 2:1. It means A's share is twice the B's share. We are expressing the relationship between two things in the pure form, pure number. Right? Second thing is, the second one is percentage. A very simple example that I have given you, the marks scored and the total marks. How you express it? You express it as marks scored divided by total marks multiplied by 100. What is the marks scored? 400. Total marks 500 multiplied by 100. 80%. Clear? So this is how you express a ratio in percentage. We are studying the relationship between marks scored and the total marks, and we are expressing this in the form of a percentage. Clear? Now the third form. Third form is times. When we express something in times, like I'll say, take an example, I'll say A is 2 times stronger than B. Right? This is how we say sometimes that he is 2 times taller than B, he is 2 times stronger than B. Right? So this is how sometimes we express the ratio in times. Clear? Now the next one is, sometimes we express it in fractions. Fraction is 3/4, 2/3, right? Like we studied in the partnership that D is admitted for 3/4 share, isn't it? That is what we studied. This is how we sometimes we build relationships in fractions. 3/4, 2/3, right? 1/2, right? So this is how sometimes we express the ratios in fractions also. Clear? So basically these are the 4 types of expressions of ratio. That is, these are the 4 types in which we can write down the ratios, we can express the ratios, we can find out the results of the ratio analysis. Pure form, percentage form, times and fraction. Clear, friends? So I hope you have understood what is ratio analysis? It is the relationship between two things, right? If we talk from the business point of view, from the accounting point of view, it is the relationship between the financial factors of the business, right? Analysis means the deep study about something, right? So this is the example I took. The relationship between the marks scored and the total marks, we express it as a percentage, and this percentage is nothing but a ratio. This is what I explained in expression of ratio, percentage. Clear? Now quickly we'll see why we are studying this ratio analysis. If we talk from the business point of view, this ratio analysis plays a very important role, right? Why it plays an important role? You try to figure out the business position. Why to study ratio analysis, right? Now it is very important for the business to analyze the various factors from time to time, right? And if you have to analyze the various factors, it is not quite possible to prepare the profit and loss, to prepare the balance sheet in between the years, right? It becomes a lengthy term. So what they do, they use ratio analysis. They build relationship between the various financial factors of the business. Build relationship between various financial factors, right? Why? To analyze business position, right, from time to time. Clear? To analyze the business position from time to time in an easier way, that whether our business is going in the right direction or not, for that purpose we do ratio analysis. Analysis is what? Deep study. So why we are doing the deep study? Why you study? Why you study hard? Why you do deep study? To score good marks, right? Similarly, why business is using the ratio analysis to analyze whether they are doing business in the right way, right? And whether they will be earning profits or not, and if there is a need to change some methodology, they can change it at the earliest before they incur any losses. Clear? So this is why they do ratio analysis, to analyze the business position from time to time in an easier way. For that they try to build relationship between the various financial factors of the business, and this relationship is known as ratio analysis. Clear? So this is the broad perspective that why we are studying the ratio analysis. Clear? The next part of ratio analysis is what to study. Right? This will start in the next lecture. What to study in the ratio analysis. So in the next lecture, we'll start with types of ratio analysis. Right? So in the next lecture, we'll start with types of ratio analysis. So friends, if you have any kind of queries, you can anytime send me an email at ksjteaching@gmail.com. gmail.com, right? Feel free to send your queries. I will definitely reply you back as soon as possible, right? So that's all for this lecture, friends. Thank you so much.